Hello and welcome back to the Fastest Podcast. I'm your host Jazz. Today I have with me Dan, Pigeon, and Bianca, and we are here for our Abu Dhabi Grand Prix preview. It's our last one of the season, guys. Where's the time gone? What a weekend it will be as well. We will have our world champion decided, who it may be.
Finally, the
We'll
suspense was
come.
killing me.
The suspense is killing all of us. We will come on to that shortly. We also have to talk about the track, rookies, and also we will be going through your guys' predictions. But let's start talking a little bit about the track itself. Yas Marina circuit. I'm gonna throw it to you guys. What do we think of the circuit as a whole? What do we think of it for being the last race of the season?
Disgraceful. It should, let's be honest. It should be something like Brazil. Where you got variables. Here, we know what's going to happen. It's going to be a straightforward race with no possible weather conditions. Throwing a curveball or anything, and the actual circuit's pretty generic. It's got a couple of long straights and a twisty section. It's
Yeah.
for the viewers, I don't think it's great, especially sector 3 where you can't follow. And then when you get to the two DRS zones, you're quite far behind because you've sat in dirty air. So I think as a final race, they really should reevaluate.
Yeah, it's not great. The first sector is kind of good. You have a left-hander, and then you go into a little bit of a twisty section, followed by two really long straights, and then it's kind of game over. I think you saw it with 2021 when Perez was trying to pack up Hamilton. After that second straight, there is really no chance for you to even think about a move into the inside. So yeah, especially with DRS this year, we're not going to see much, I believe. I think if you want to do it, you're gonna have to do it in quali.
For sure. Yeah, I can agree with everything Dan and Pigeon said. To me, it's never really delivered much. Of course, it's like a very polemic circuit because of 2021 and stuff like that. But I don't know, and I've never found it that exciting. And I can agree with everything Dan and Pigeon said. There's no need for me to repeat it. So, but yeah,
I mean, if we are going to say anything, we often see it at turn one. Last year we had that contact between Verstappen and Piastri. Uh, 2021. There's it is usually that first lap, first corner is where we will see any sort of big dramas. And that's kind of where the last few races have been decided as well, is going into turn one. Shout out to Lando Norris for that. So I mean, it's not the most dynamic of circuits. I get why they do it there, but I don't
yeah,
know if it's the one, shall we say? Especially we're coming off the back of so many really good races that we've had this second half of the season. Brazil, of course, it's the race. It's the one race that everyone looks forward to. And now we've got to do Abu Dhabi last, but
yeah. I mean, it wasn't ideal, right? As well, like I feel like this generation of cars has been really hard to overtake. Like looking at the stats, you can see like the overtakes on circuits kind of like decreasing. So it's very hard to overtake, and then to leave this as the last circuit, where it's
I think because they do the FP1 sessions for rookies to come in, and I think in that regard it's a very good testing circuit, but I don't think it's quite
sure.
what you want to be seeing for the last F1 race of the season. And not only is it the last race of the season, it's the last race of the ground effect era, you know?
Yes,
Bye. Don't come back.
I think you hit it on the nail there. Because as you say, it's great for testing because it's got a little bit of everything. Sector 1 twisty, then last part of sector 1 is really just straight line, and then the final part is really you have to choose your line, your speed, your gears. So it's really interesting, but yeah, final race, nah. It really doesn't hold up to other tracks. Um, but we might see some strategy come into play. Like, when are you pitting? It's going to be a one stop. We know that for sure because, well, every race has been a one stop. Um, so yeah,
Don't say it's going to be a strategy race. You might scare
no,
McLaren.
no. I think it could come into play. Like, when do you pit? But I think McLaren might be happy that it's not a mandatory two stopper, so they don't have to think about when.
Think too much.
Yeah, yeah.
I just wonder whether McLaren went on a hiring spree and took some of the Ferrari pit wall with them.
Oh
Well, they took
no.
Andrea Stella, didn't they? You can take
Oh
the man out of
no.
Ferrari, but you can't
You
take
can
Ferrari out of the man.
what a quote.
Thank you. I mean, okay, so we're talking about rookie sessions in FP1. We will do another podcast episode about Formula 2 season and talking a little bit about the rookie test. But talking about rookies, let's talk about the F1 rookies because this is the last race of their first season, unless you're Colapinto and Lawson and you've been chucked around a few times before. But this is the end of like the full season now for most of the rookies on the grid. What do we make? Who's impressed you? Who's not impressed you so much as we sort of come to the end of the season?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, the rookies this season, they've been shameless in the best way. The way that they've kind of like kept up with, I think at the beginning of the season, a lot of people were saying, oh, expect like a lot of accidents because we have like six rookies, what was it, um, on the grid, and people were expecting chaos. But the way they like, especially the two rookies I'm more impressed with, Oliver Berman and Isaac Hadjar. Of course, Ajar, how he kept his podium in Zandvoort. Berman kind of like continuously proves that, he's kind of like there to stay. So yeah, they are the two that I'm most impressed by. But overall, I think also Antonelli did a very good job, especially like in this last part of the season. He's kind of like picked it back up. I'm very impressed. I did not expect it. I was one of those people who were like, oh yeah, chaos. I love it. But I'm more impressed by this than the chaos.
I mean, I think the rookies have really shown how much higher the bar has been set by previous rookies. We've seen, of course, like the last real rookie spree we had was back in 2018-19 when Leclerc, Norris, Russell came in, and then we had kind of a little bit of an empty spree with Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, Latifi. They all kind of got in and kind of went. Um, but now you really see that we have so many rookies and they haven't really crashed much. They've caused some red flags, they've caused some silly mistakes, but we haven't really seen them disrupt many sessions, which is really hats off to them.
Yep, for sure.
This batch of rookies has definitely been to like the caliber of the Norris, Russell, Leclerc, Albon rookies that we saw in 2018, 2019. Whereas sort of rookies that we've had in between maybe not been as strong. But obviously we haven't really seen this kind of influx of that this many rookies in one go. And I think, yeah, considering the amount of rookies that we have on the grid, that they've been just a different level. I think you see a lot of that now. You come in through the feeder series, you're really seeing like next level performances, and I think that just comes from there not being as much space to get them into the sport, so everyone's really top of their game. So it has been really impressive to see. Who is your rookie of the year?
Ooh.
I mean,
For me, it's Hadjar. He's in an average car, and he's doing well. He's scored a podium. You expect Antonelli to have got a few podiums over the season, which he has done to his credit. But Hadjar, I didn't have high hopes him coming into F1. I thought he was a bit of an average driver. He proved me wrong. He's done really well this year.
it really is a difficult question because all of them have had their issues this season.
Right.
Antonelli had a great start, and then in Europe he kind of fell off, which wasn't all his issue. I mean, he had a couple of
No.
mechanical DNFs, and then the car wasn't there. Even Russell was really struggling. Behrman had a lot of silly but not massive mistakes, but it did end up costing him the first half of the season. I'm really impressed with how he's handled the final couple of races.
Mhm.
5 races in a row scoring, and if Haas hadn't screwed him over in Qatar, I think he would have gone on to go on for a sixth finishing position. Um, so really impressed with him, especially Mexico and Brazil. When you really see that it is driver circuits, then he really shines. Hadjar also, I mean, yeah, not many mistakes, not really in front, but still a podium. So Bortoleto was kind of there halfway in the season, but really silly
Yeah.
mistakes. Couple of last races, and Lawson and Colapinto. Yeah, you can't really say too much about them, sadly.
Yeah.
Lawson has kind of measured up to Hadjar, but I think Hadjar still is proving to be the better choice at this time. And
I
Colapinto,
mean, it really.
yeah, um, he's gotten close. That's all I can say about Colapinto. To be fair, he's gotten close.
I feel sad for Colapinto, if I'm being honest, because he had, you know, last when he raced in the Williams, he kind of like had some moments where you were like, oh my God, yes. So he kind of like deserves to be there. And then he came into Alpine. The car is also not what it's supposed to be, I think. If you see his results with Gasly's as well, they've been struggling with the car. So I've kind of like feel bad for him because he hasn't been able to show what he's got. Um, but he's still got a contract for next year. So we'll see.
I think for an audition, I think Hadjar did the best.
Yeah, yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
I think from next year on, if we actually have cars which we can race with, we could have a good like proper view of what these rookies can do. Because
For sure.
let's be fair, Colapinto and Bortoleto did not have a car that they could actually score points in. The fact that Bortoleto did halfway through the season is a massive achievement.
Yeah.
Um, and the same goes for Hadjar and Lawson, and they really didn't have the car to get into the top five very often, but they have managed to.
They did.
So yeah, they've all peaked this season at some point, which is good.
Well, I mean, we're all just waiting for the confirmation now, but it sounds like it doesn't just sound like, we know that Hadra will be partnering Max next season.
Ooh, is it the beginning or the end?
Mm.
That's
Well,
the wrong move.
it's maybe not the right move, but what me and Dogra did discuss actually on the last podcast was, if there was ever a time to be Max Verstappen's teammate, 2026 might be the year for that, because ultimately, if Max gets even more bored than he is now and retires, that's your team afterwards. So it might not be the worst decision in the world, but anything can change in Formula One. We know that very, very quickly. And I think, to be honest, he probably has the best chance of going into the new era and partnering Max, because it's not necessarily going to be the Max Verstappen mobile next year. Because we're
You
kind
don't
of
know that.
starting.
You don't know that.
I don't know that,
I I,
but
I,
I'm
I firmly
saying,
believe that Verstappen had a pretty big impact on designing that car.
yeah, I mean, I would say he probably did, but I mean, relearning the car and doing all of that work and the sim work and stuff, you've probably got the best chance of
Yeah.
having a teammate that can partner Max next season. So I think Hadjar is probably the right choice. I do feel for Yuki because I think he will be out of his seat, and it looks like Arvid Liblad will be partnering Lawson at V Carb. So that is kind of it. We're just waiting for the confirmation now. Um, Dan, you can shake your head all you want. That's what's going to happen.
But
It's
I
just a
just
wrong
don't
decision.
understand why they put Lindblad in the seat. I don't understand that. It's a big risk. He was a rookie in F2 this year. He done okay. I
Right.
wouldn't say he's
does
done anything
anyone
special.
does anyone understand anything that Helmut Marko does? I think ultimately, something to consider there is that they got Max Verstappen, and now Mercedes did try to do Project Verstappen with Antonelli, and they are now worried that they are gonna lose. It's all about longevity, I think, for Red Bull.
You
We
got
see it.
Oliver with Ferrari as well.
Yeah, we see Red Bull do this a lot, where they pull in very young drivers. I think that's probably inspired by Mercedes being inspired by them. So it there is some logic to it.
What I would say,
I do agree with you. I don't know if he's the right choice.
but what I would
but-
say, if he beats Lawson next year, that's Lawson gone.
Oh, 100%.
Fair.
Yeah,
If
and I think he will. Lawson's okay. I don't rate him overly highly. So
I think the way that Red Bull operates, if he outscores Lawson in the first race of the season, Lawson's gone. It's not
we'll see the Sonoda comeback.
yeah.
Oh, please don't.
Wow.
Please don't.
Wow.
I mean, the way that Red Bull handles their drivers really is horrendous. They've thrown away so many great drivers in Albon, Gasly, They've all gone on to other teams and they are doing pretty decently. Because, they are in worse cars now, but they're still getting points, scoring great results. So if they throw away Yuki, and they're probably gonna,
Yeah.
Yuki's not gonna come back to F1. Especially not in that Red
No.
Bull, which I think he has kind of earned. He's improved over the season. We have Mekis coming in halfway through, so I was personally thinking that he would be safe because Mekis knows him and roots for him. And then them choosing Hadjar, which I don't really
Get it? I don't get
see
it.
that one. And then also bringing in Lindblad. Yeah. Yeah, it's really
It's a rogue move. It's a rogue move, but it's a very Red Bull move, and I think that's
Right.
the
Yeah.
key point.
But I
Red Bull and the Rebels.
I do think that we're gonna see some massive shifts in driver for teams in 2027.
Because there's no way Ferrari
for
will
sure.
have the same lineup in 27. And
Yeah,
not
but
have-
I also think that if especially if the cars don't work out, Max is gone because he said it himself. If I'm not having fun in these cars, I'm doing something else. I think if Hamilton doesn't feel great in the car, he's gonna retire as well because you don't want to just drive P8s, P10s, or P18s
Alonso.
in qualifying. Alonso's gone. That means we have 3 world champions that are currently on the grid who will be gone if the cars don't work out. I think Leclerc's going to move somewhere else if Ferrari don't start listening to him. Piastri probably the same. So we could see completely different grid in 2 years' time.
Yeah, I mean, 2026 is like kind of setting the stage for 2027, in my opinion. 2026 is like, this is what we got, and then the party will really start in 2027 because it's like an audition thing for really getting into the era. We're gonna see what these new cars do. We're gonna see we're all gonna be really busy around the summer break. It's gonna be busy. It's gonna be very busy. Because we're gonna see, I think, a massive silly season in a way that we have not seen for a very long time. So yeah, we'll worry about that when we get there. Now, something that we really do have to worry about now, because days away. Who's gonna win the title, guys? Who's gonna win it?
Oh my god. I do not have an answer for that, honestly. Like, I tried to think about it. I'm like, okay, so it's Max Verstappen. So there's the chances it's very there if we're being honest. But also like it's 16 points. And then but also it's like McLaren's also in a fast car. Norris hasn't been too bad. There's a lot to consider. I'm like, I want it to be over just so I know who the champion is.
I need this. I need the off season. I need the off season, and I need to not have to think about any of this until January. The thing is, we don't know. I mean, the odds are in Norris's favor, but that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Nope.
No.
You can finish P2 and be disqualified. So the thing is, like you said, the odds are in Norris's favor. I would say the flow is in Max's favor. And
Ooh, hard.
Piastri, we've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. Piastri has nothing to lose. Absolutely
The
nothing.
thing is, you say we could have said that coming into Qatar, but now Piastri has been well and truly shafted by McLaren. So now it's over. It is over. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Something. No.
Not
Okay.
over till it's over.
I'll
Some-
disagree with you because if you want to go off stats, for example, 2010, Alonso was 15 points ahead of Vettel. Vettel won the championship. Kimi Raikkonen went into Brazil 2007, no chance of winning. He won the championship. You just don't know. It takes one lock up from Verstappen going straight into Norris. They're both out the race. You don't know. Norris could have a tangle with one of the Mercedes. You just don't know. Anything could happen. McLaren could happen, the clown show. They could come back for one final time. You don't know. Anything can happen. They might screw up a pit stop. Are they then going to screw up the other person's pit stop? We don't know. So there's loads of variables. I wouldn't count anyone out, especially before qualifying has happened. If Piastri qualifies on pole, you just don't know.
The reason I say it's over for Piastri is more because, like we say, the odds are in the favor of Norris. The flow is in favor of Verstappen.
Oscar's just there.
Oscar's
That's nothing.
what?
P3.
I mean, his recent form after what happened in Qatar, he's either going to be absolutely fueled to just run someone over, or it's going to be just the saddest weekend of his life. I don't know really what I've never really clocked that with Oscar. I don't know if he's fueled by irritation in the same way that some other drivers are. So I don't really know how this weekend goes for him.
I mean,
Last
last time Piastri was fueled by whatever it was Monza, and we saw what happened after that. He went 6 races without a podium. So, yeah. That's facts.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna because I want to keep my mic.
Look, you just don't know what happens on the day. Anything could happen on the day. Again, going back to 2007, Hamilton was nailed on for the championship, wasn't he? Until his gearbox clunked out. So,
yeah,
anything can happen. What I would say is, obviously, he's got the less chance. Up until the final lap in Qatar, I thought Verstappen's going to win this championship. But with the Antonelli mistake and Norris gaining the place, I think it's very difficult to see anyone winning apart from Norris, if we're being realistic.
It makes it more difficult, indeed, because now he doesn't need a P3, he needs P4 for Max to have any shot. Which means not just one driver has to be in the mix, but the two. And we haven't talked about it yet, but if Piastri can't win the title anymore within that race, will he move over?
Well, this is what I was going to ask you guys.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. No, we just got there quicker. The fact of the matter is, what do McLaren do? Because if we're in a position where Piastri's in a position to slow Max down, if Lando's leading, or strategic calls, or putting a wheel up the inside, there's a few different factors, right, where Piastri could play the team game. I've had this debate over the last few days about what the right thing to do is, because obviously if McLaren get on the phone and say, hey Oscar, we know that there was all that stuff about papaya rules and racing fairly, but if you could just
Pull Perez.
absolutely, yeah, if you could absolutely just bin it into the side of Max, that would be unreal. Like, that's not going to be very well received. For a number of reasons, but I also think McLaren need to consider the fact that they will be a laughing stock of the entire motorsport world if they lose this championship somehow.
They
And
already
it's
are.
very possible.
They
They
really
already
already
are.
are. I mean,
This would
we've
be
gone
the final nail in the coffin.
we've gone from Ferrari gun to Ferrari to McLaren gun to McLaren because the amount of mistakes they've made, whether it's strategy, drivers, or pit stops, is too many. I mean,
And this is something that me and Dogger were talking about in the post race the other day. It's just the fact that have they completely tanked this by doing the whole two drivers thing? Like, because if you think about the last few dominant champions, you know, Hamilton had Bottas and Verstappen had about 5 people, but that's besides the point. Perez is the most prevalent, the most obvious one you could think of that really played the team game and helped, like Abu Dhabi 2021, for example. You know, the way that Perez and Bottas helped and made that season kind of what it was. Have McLaren kind of botched it from that side? Because I think it's lovely that they tried to have the best of both worlds, but now what do you do when you've got one Max Verstappen who does not care about your papaya niceties, and you've got two other guys?
What I would say is Norris and Piastri on the same level. Bottas wasn't at Hamilton's level. Perez isn't at Verstappen's level. But when you've got two drivers at the same level, and they are, how do you say to one of them, we're not giving you a shot in the championship this year. We're focusing everything on, for example, Norris. I mean, the first thing Piastri would do is be on the phone to example, Aston Martin and be like, I'm getting out of here. When can I join? You would, because you want to be the world champion. Bottas knew that he realistically didn't have a chance because he's going up against one of the all-time greats. Same with Perez. He's going up against one of the all-time greats of the sport, but neither Norris nor Piastri are there yet. And they're on the same level, maybe not experience-wise, but I think pace-wise. I mean, they're separated by 16 points. So how do you say to one of them, no, you're not racing? Going to Abu Dhabi, that's a different story.
That's the thing. We're kind of talking about a scenario here where Norris is leading the race, for example. Max is chasing him down. Maybe Max is pitted. And he's behind Oscar, and they're running P1, P2, P3. McLaren could go, hey, Oscar, can you slow him down a little bit? Rather than chase down Norris for the win. Like, this is the thing where we have to get into these little specific scenarios and go, what do you do? Because what do? They've set themselves up to fail.
I mean, to be fair, you can't overtake anyways. So if you're stuck, you're stuck.
Yeah, but the thing is, do you know who's going to try and overtake? Whether that puts everyone into the off the track, Max Verstappen is going to try and overtake.
I would say it'd be more interesting if Verstappen's first, you've got a Mercedes in second, Piastri third, and Norris fourth.
I could very well see Mercedes be up there this weekend.
Because then do you say to Piastri, let Norris through so he can win the championship or whatever? Or something along those lines. And then if you're Piastri, do you? Because if I'm Piastri, I don't.
Honestly,
so it's all things, because if I'm Piastri, I'd rather Verstappen win it than Norris.
I mean, you do look like a fool if Verstappen wins this.
You do. But could you go into the summer break thinking, I've just let my teammate pass me so he could win the championship that I was leading for so long?
It's a team sport.
I think he'd probably do that in the winter break. He wouldn't keep all that until the summer break.
Winter. Oh, God. Well, he might have a very long vendetta.
No, he's
Final
going
race
back
before
to
summer.
Dan was right. It's summer in Australia.
Hey! It's summer somewhere, right? But there's so many variables that can happen in this race. Like you said, you can't count Mercedes out. They've been quick recently.
Alpine.
Yeah.
Alpine.
A late safety car.
Oh, please.
You know what happened
please,
then?
No.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, a lot can happen. And so, I don't know, man. I feel like in true McLaren fashion, they're just going to let him fight it out. And I think, to some extent, they're probably going to do that. And, maybe, like you guys said, it's a team game. So at some point, Piastri's going to, while he's in the car, logically think about it, pull the signs, like, pull out his calculator, like, oh, if I'm in this position, I might want to help my teammate out, you know? But I think they're just gonna let them race. They're not gonna choose a driver until the end. I think they're gonna stick to their guns, and they're just gonna let it play out, basically. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. I would say though. Go ahead.
No, I can't finish what you were saying.
No, I would say, like, if I was the Piastri, if I see, I'm a racing driver, I'm competitive by nature. If I see a chance of winning this race, I'm doing it. Um, but in the end, if I see maybe, this championship is not for me, which as a racing driver, I also cannot see that happening, but in a competitive mindset. But if that's somehow the case, I would just play the team game. Um, but who knows, man?
No, there are a lot of variables here.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot.
Piastri was a broken man in Qatar, guys. Like, that was the saddest like champagne spray I've ever seen. Like, the whole thing was just.
Can you imagine finally driving the perfect weekend and then them messing it up on strategy of all things? That's heartbreaking. He was finally up to speed again.
I mean, you know what? You can never trust McLaren on strategy. I'm not trying to, crap on them. But basically, what I was telling, I was watching the race with my sister. You can never fault Red Bull for, like, strategy wise. Like, they always, like, nail it. And then if a race depends on strategy, McLaren, it's not their strong suit, man. So
it's because they don't want to split the strategy because they're worried that someone's gonna get their feelings hurt. That's the problem, and that's kind of what I was saying when I say, Mercedes had Bottas and Hamilton, and Red Bull had Verstappen and whoever else they wanted to sacrifice. They don't have that flexibility, and that's the irony of them saying the other day in Qatar, we have the flexibility now. What flexibility? You have imposed tire stints. There's no flexibility when everyone else is.
I think that everyone's just forgotten how to do a proper two-stop race. Because we've had one-stops all season long when it hasn't rained. And finally we have a two-stopper and people just forget, like, oh yeah, if I pit under safety car, I save about 12 seconds compared to a normal one. Huh. Yeah, I'm not going to get 12 seconds from new tires.
I don't know what McLaren were thinking, genuinely. I don't know what the plan was. Oh yeah, just make up, like, a half a lap while everyone else is in the pit lane.
I think after Piastri pitted, he needed to do a second lap quicker than Verstappen. On hards, by the way. Because he asked for softs, didn't get them.
Shout out to Pirelli. some good tyres you've
I
got
mean,
this season.
we only had one tire blowout, and it wasn't even graining. I think that caused it, because I looked at Hadjar's onboard, and he had his front wing flap, the tire flap, that just went off, and I think it sliced the tire somewhere.
Man,
Guys, I think it's happened.
what?
Finally
It's
lost
happened. It's happened.
it. Hadjar is confirmed,
Hadjar has been confirmed.
and Lindblad as well,
Yep, and Lindblad as
straight
well.
out the gate.
All right. Let the games begin.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. Terrible choice, but hey, I'm not being paid to choose the drivers, so.
It could be a masterstroke. We don't know.
It could be.
Is
We'll see.
Hadjar going to be more capable than Tsunoda?
Depends on the car.
Exactly.
Well, now we know. Now we know.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, let's just wrap this up. Before we go into predictions, from the viewers, I would like to have your predictions. Who do you think is winning the World Championship?
Don't do this to me.
Could we first do race predictions?
Ah,
But we're talking about the World Championship. We can do race predictions. We can do that.
Okay.
We can do that. I
I mean,
don't.
the race prediction will give you the world champion.
That too,
Yeah.
but you know, we still have some interesting, lower down the order battles as well for P60 constructors. I think there's still a mathematical chance that Red Bull can take P2 in the championship as well, but I don't see it happening.
It might be possible, but I don't. Let's be real. That ain't happening this week. Unless
Okay.
they put Hadjar in the Red Bull this weekend, that's not happening.
I don't see that happening either. Someone else go first, please.
we're all puzzled.
I will go Verstappen to win the race. Russell second. And Norris third.
I would also, honestly, I would also go Max Verstappen. Norris second. And then one of the Mercedes as well, third. My guess is Russell. It's a bit more, but yeah, like that.
I'll say Max, Russell, Antonelli. I'm going all in on Mercedes this weekend.
What
Ooh.
have they been disqualified?
Norris misses out.
There's a lot of things that can happen, honestly.
Imagine Piastri takes Norris
I think
out.
Abu Dhabi will be one of those weekends where a mistake is easily made, especially with pit lane. We haven't even talked about pit lane because it's a crazy long pit lane in Abu Dhabi as well.
True.
So a lot of things can happen, and with how close the field is this season, it doesn't take much to make any kind of mistake, especially on a technical track like Abu Dhabi. So yeah, I think Max will pull it together somehow, and McLaren will.
He always does.
Yeah, I think McLaren will make a mistake somewhere. Yeah.
Verstappen to win the race. Norris, Piastri.
Did we all
I
unanimously agree that Verstappen is going to win the race?
Yeah, I think
We did.
Verstappen will win the race. I don't think it's.
We
I
are,
mean,
however, divided on who's going to be champion. So.
Right.
Okay, so now, logically,
There's
We're
no
all saying
logic
Norris
this season.
apart from you, Pigeon.
Sorry.
We're all saying Norris to win it apart from you.
Yeah, I mean, I lost my faith around Hungary, and I've slowly regained it. I still think it's a long shot, but crazier things have happened
I mean,
this
it would
season.
take a massive Norris
At,
bottle shot.
at this point, you can't say that it'll be the craziest thing
Massive
that
Norris
happens.
bottle shot.
Yep.
So yeah,
But if he
putting
does
it-
No.
I'm putting it in the hands of the racing gods at this point.
I think if Max Verstappen actually does pull it off, he'll be the first driver to kind of like pull it off with such like a big points, massive points difference. I think.
The fact is, he already has the record for biggest title turnaround, which I think it was either 70 points or 47 points. If he does this with 104 points, that's...
Oh, my goodness.
It was the 2022 season, by the way. Leclerc had the rocket start, and then Verstappen just kind of...
Nah, just end it.
Well,
The podcast or F1?
F1.
The whole season.
I mean, we did ask all of you guys to throw in some predictions as well. Which is
We did.
basically, let's see. A lot of people predicting a Norris win. I mean, he has been on form, I would say. It's just that the race starts. And I think if he starts on pole, has a good first corner, he's going to win the race. So we have a lot of Norris, Piastri, Verstappen. Norris will bottle in quali, start P7. McLaren hates dirty air, also low top speed. Spends 15 laps behind Leclerc. This is a very, very specific one. Leclerc pit stop 3.7 seconds behind Sainz. Norris spends 35 laps behind Sainz. And then Max, Piastri, Norris 1, 2, and 6. A lot of people saying Norris bottle.
Wow.
Here's a nice one. A Mercedes will play a big role in deciding the championship.
mm-hmm.
Also have one.
I hope it's not Antonelli after.
Hamilton wins his 9th championship.
Bold.
That's bold.
We can only hope.
In the world and in the universe of possibilities, that's quite low on the list, I believe. At least one of Max, Lando, or Oscar does not finish the race.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to admit that Lando Norris is able to finish in the top 4. Still doesn't answer the question because top 4 could be either way.
Yeah, fourth he doesn't win it. So
yeah. Norris Grand Slam. If he wins the championship with the Grand Slam this weekend, that's hats off.
Fair dues.
Norris
If
and Max...
he wins the championship, full stop, I will give him hats off. Like,
still, but Grand Slam would be the yeah. Norris and Max collide on the first lap, which would mean that the Piastri could win the championship if he wins. Then Red Bull have 3 drivers to ensure Max wins the championship, with a picture of all 3 Racing Bulls. Or
I mean, they're not going to get anywhere near the front, but
no. I mean, I was quite surprised by Tsunoda in the Qatar sprint.
Yeah.
We've seen it. If he qualifies well and he's not stuck behind, literally 12 cars, that he does have race pace. So
this is when Tsunoda will pull it out the bag. He'll get a P2.
Yeah, I think that's most of the variations that we had. So a pretty mixed bag. Yeah, I mean we've been saying we don't know. It's only predictions. So
what I'm hearing is everyone hates Lando Norris, apart from like me and Zach Brown. Like that's.
I don't hate him.
I mean, something we haven't even touched on is that Piastri won't even be in the car in FP1.
Ooh.
You can't write it. You can't write it. What are they doing down there? What are they like?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, after Mexico, there was no other chance to do it as well for the rookie, FP1 session, because we had Brazil, which was a sprint. Then we had Las Vegas, which is a terrible track to do it at. And then we had Qatar, which is also a sprint. So, yeah, you can't make it up.
Well, on that note, I suppose we're just going to have to see what happens as it plays out over the weekend. May the best man win, honestly. Like, let's just wrap it up. Let's just wrap it up. Whatever may be.
Will be.
Whatever will be. That's the one. yeah, I mean, it's been a fun season. We've got a three-way title fight, kind of going in. So, I mean, it's exciting, regardless of who you're rooting for. It makes for a good end to the season. So we can only hope that we get a somewhat entertaining race out of it as well. But yeah, that's everything from us. Now, in the run up to Abu Dhabi, you can keep an eye out for any updates from us across social media. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. And you can also find us on our website where we will be providing updates going into the race weekend. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy the last weekend of the season. Some of us will.
Yeah. Bye.